August 6, 1945. It was a quiet morning in Hiroshima. People were heading to work, children were walking to school, and the city was just beginning its day. At 8:15 a.m., a blinding flash tore through the sky. In an instant, the heart of Hiroshima was engulfed in fire. A mushroom cloud rose miles into the air, painting the sky with death. Tens of thousands of people were vaporized, some so completely that all that remained were shadows burned into walls. Skin melted from bodies. Buildings crumbled like sandcastles. The very air became poison. By nightfall, over 70,000 were dead. In the weeks that followed, the death toll would rise even higher. Radiation sickness, burns, trauma, and starvation consumed the survivors. The world had just witnessed the power of a new kind of weapon, a weapon so destructive it threatened the survival of our species. But how did we get here? The race to unlock the atom. Let's rewind a decade. In the early 1930s, physicists across Europe were unlocking the secrets of the atom. They discovered that the nucleus, once thought to be solid, could actually be split apart, and when that happened, it released energy far greater than any chemical reaction. In 1938, German scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann discovered nuclear fission, the splitting of uranium atoms. But it was physicist Lise Meitner who realized what it meant. The atom could become a bomb. That same year, Hitler was rising. Nazi Germany had the scientists, and now the science. The world had every reason to be terrified. Einstein, the letter that changed everything. Two Jewish scientists who had fled Nazi Germany, Leo Szilard and Edward Teller, knew the danger. They turned to one man who could make the world listen, Albert Einstein. Einstein, a pacifist by nature, wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1939. A single bomb of this type might destroy an entire city. That letter sparked action. Roosevelt launched the Manhattan Project, a secret race to build the bomb before Hitler could. Einstein wouldn't work on the bomb himself. He was left in the shadows. But his warning lit the fuse. The brain behind the bomb, J. Robert Oppenheimer. To lead the Manhattan Project, they needed a genius. They chose J. Robert Oppenheimer, a brilliant, complicated physicist with a mind made for the impossible. In 1943, he gathered the greatest scientific minds in America and exiled them to a top-secret lab in Los Alamos, New Mexico. What they were building there was unlike anything in history. How the bomb works, splitting the atom. At the heart of every atom is a nucleus, packed with protons and neutrons, held together by the strongest force in nature. If you split that nucleus, you release an enormous amount of energy, nuclear fission. But it's not just one explosion.
If done right, one atom triggers the next, and the next. A chain reaction, a domino effect of destruction. The key ingredients? Uranium-235 and plutonium-239. Rare, unstable, and perfect for a bomb. They designed two types. Little boy, a uranium bomb. Fat man, a plutonium bomb. But before they could use them, they had to test them. July 16, 1945, Trinity. In the New Mexico desert, they placed a plutonium bomb atop a steel tower. The team stood miles away wearing dark goggles, barely breathing. The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. The sky turned white. The earth trembled. The fireball rose like a second sun. The sand turned to glass. The air caught fire. And mankind crossed a line it could never uncross. It was the first man-made nuclear explosion in history.
We did not want to allow much time. We did not want to say goodbye.
Oppenheimer watched in silence and whispered a line from Hindu scripture. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. The bomb had worked, and now there was no turning back.
Few people laughed, few people cried, most people were silent. He's trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Why Japan? But why drop it? Why unleash such horror on Japan? Some say it was to end the war quickly, to avoid a bloody invasion of the Japanese mainland, which could have cost millions of lives. Others say it was a warning, a message to the world, and especially to the Soviet Union, that the US now held unimaginable power. Japan was already on the brink. Cities were firebombed, millions were starving, some of their leaders were already considering surrender. But Washington wanted total, unconditional surrender, and the bomb forced the decision. The Enola Gay dropped, Little Boy. It exploded 1,900 feet above the city. In a split second, over 70,000 people were gone. Hospitals flattened, children incinerated, rivers boiled. The city burned for days. And yet Japan didn't surrender. August 9th, 1945, Nagasaki. 3 days later, the US dropped Fat Man on Nagasaki. Another 40,000 people, gone. This time, the message was clear. On August 15th, Japan surrendered. World War II was over, but a new age had begun.
Was it necessary?
Historians still argue. Some say the bomb saved lives by avoiding a ground invasion. Others say Japan was already beaten and the bomb was unnecessary, a cold experiment wrapped in politics and revenge. Even many of the scientists who built it were haunted by their role. Oppenheimer told President Truman, "Mr. President, I feel I have blood on my hands." Truman replied, "Don't. That was my decision, not yours."
Legacy of the bomb.
The bomb ended a war, but it started something else. The nuclear age. With years, the Soviet Union had the bomb, then Britain, then China, then others. The world became a powder keg, with fingers on the button. And all of it began with a flash of light in a quiet city called Hiroshima.